there is something that I have to remember because God has been with me. I have to make my decisions based on my experiences. Number one, what has God been saying? Lord. So it's me saying, remember, Lord, your great mercy and love, for they are from the old. It's His faithfulness. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Now, I'm still a youth, by the way. So the Bible is saying I should remember my God in the days of my youth. Before the days of trouble come and the years approach, when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. This speaks of regret. If you don't remember the Creator, the one who has created us, in the days of your youth, guess what happens? Like I said, you make a lot of mistakes. Some of the mistakes are very difficult to correct. Some of them, that's where you say, the wages of sin is death. Morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I know it's cold, but at least we are alive. Anyone with a testimony? Because if you don't have, then I'll start with my own. I know the elders will say, wait, who gave you the authority to call for testimonies? But if you have got one, anyone with a testimony? Okay, so you don't have. I don't know which God you serve. Because the one I serve, if anyone calls for a testimony, you must have one. Every day, this God is doing great things in your life. Every day, this God is doing great things in someone's life. Every day, our God is doing great things in this nation. Every day, God is doing great things in this church. So sometimes when we call for these testimonies, don't be selfish and always want to be a testimony about you. It can be a testimony about someone else. I hope we are praying for some other people other than ourselves. I know we as Zimbabweans, we always say, Sadik ichazotibatsira, it's not Sadik chairman, Saka Sadik. But when we come here, we pray for one another and we mean it. And God answers prayers for those whom you have been praying for. So when we call for testimonies, we should be having many of them. I am grateful that I turned 50 last week on Monday. It's a big number. 50 is big, really big. I know Mr. Kainga may not agree, but 50 is big. The Lord has seen me through things. Sometimes despair. One minute you are happy, the other minute it's all things have gone full cycle. The economy spins you left, right, and center. How many here are employees? If you are employed, raise your hands. Okay. All right. You know what happens at work? You know, you have been talking about the salaries. Okay? You know what happens? Yeah. When you are at work, I think there is a survey which was saying almost 95% of Zimbabweans are not happy with what they get, with where they are, and That's why I'm saying we must have testimonies. How many are employers? Hey, how do you feel when it comes to month end? And now they're expecting that Elder Mashawa, who is spirit-filled, should also fill their pockets at the right time. You have promised them that by the 25th of the month, they will have their salaries. And guess what? We are in the same boat. The 25th comes, and there is nothing to give them. There is absolutely nothing to give them. I don't even want to talk about parents. Yeah, if you are a parent, now if you are a father, the head of the family, the one full of wisdom on how to provide, the provider, the one who knows everything. I don't know. But it's a challenging environment. I'm not too sure if you are a child and you are expectant and you can appreciate that your parents are struggling. You can see that they are doing their best for you, but it's a sacrifice. I don't know the pastors who are here, overseer. You hear a lot. People come to you for solutions. People come to you because we feel that God has ordained you to help us. And we need your time. And we assume that we are a priority in your life. And you have to give us all we are asking. But that's what we are going through as a nation. So when I'm saying we really, really need a lot of testimonies, and we will overcome because of what? Because of what? The word of our testimonies. It's something that brings overcoming. The testimonies in themselves are so powerful. So I call upon ourselves to be always testifying about the goodness of the Lord. You know, when you turn 50, it's a time to reflect. I thank the pastor for giving me this opportunity. This is my third time on the pulpit. I thank the elders. I thank God. In January, the pastor said, as an elder, you are given a minimum of once to preach. So choose your day. So I said, I normally prefer to do it around my birthday. So I chose this in January, this day in January. And a week after I had committed to the pastor, so I had already started saying, God, I don't want to struggle with the message. Give it to me now so that I am weak. I am not like Overseer Msodza who come with decorated. He has got everything on the screen. He has got even bags, tunduru. Everything is prepared. So I want to issue a disclaimer. God gave me the word just to say, remember what you have gone through. Remember. So the title of my message is Remember to Remember the Lord. I also have to issue a disclaimer. I've never been to Bible school. I issue this when I'm on the pulpit. So the mistakes that I make, please just say grace upon grace, because I have never been to a Bible school. This message for me means a lot. I looked at it and I just went to a few Bible verses. And I said, but why does God want me to focus on saying remember? I saw that because every day there are decisions that I have to make. every day God puts me into situations. Some of the decisions are important. Some of them are not important. Some of the decisions I have to make are urgent. Some of them are not urgent. But in all that I have to do, I saw that there is something that I have to remember. For me to come up and choose what to do, there is something that I have to remember. Because God has been with me. I have to make my decisions based on my experiences. Number one, what has God been saying? So we are encouraged to be reading the word so that when time comes, whether it's a temptation, you are saying, but what has God said? You have to remember what God has said. Because I feel that as a nation, part of our problems are that we don't want to remember where we have come from. So each leader wants to come. You make them the central bank governor. They feel that it's my personality which is going to make it happen. So you can have a John 1, you can have a John 2. Each one comes and says, no. I am the real John. So they forget where we have come from. So we skip, if you have looked, we just keep on from one cycle into the other, because we don't want to remember where we are coming from. When you are remembering where you are coming from, you also remember the mistakes that you have made. That's why he is a gracious God. If we go to Psalm 25, verse 6 to 7. Remember, Lord, your great mercy and love, for they are from the old. Do not remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me. For you, Lord, are good. Right? Remember, Lord. So it's me saying, remember, Lord, your great mercy and love, for they are from the old. It's his faithfulness. His faithfulness. His mercy and love from the old speaks of faithfulness. And when you begin then to say, do not remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious, the word rebellious is strong, eh? It says, do not remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me. According to your love, remember me. For you, Lord, are good. You know, when you are remembering what God has done for you, and you begin by remembering his qualities of mercy and love. Mercy and love. You know, mercy speaks of being forgiven, not being punished. There are some people who may not punish you, but they don't love you. They will not punish you for your transgressions, but they don't love you at all. In fact, they wish you could do it again, and then they'll get the chance to punish you. But God, our merciful God, is full of love. And we see his love because of his faithfulness. It comes from the old. It's not a once-off thing. He is established as a God who is merciful. He is established as a God who loves us. You know, I said to myself, I am a sinner before God. I have transgressed. But God is still merciful. I remember that. And as I wake up each day, I know that my God is merciful. I know that my God loves me. And not, you know, when the psalmist here taught me something. To say, you begin with the qualities of God. You are exalting Him. And then you go into your situation, your sinful nature, the things that you have done wrong. You know, it's like our Lord's Prayer. You somewhere, somehow, you are forced to accept your position as a sinner. To remember that you are a sinner. You have to remember that you are a sinner. But this verse, if you look at it, it starts with great mercy and love. And again, it repeats towards the end, the love. According to your love, remember me. We go back to God's love. And if you look at this verse, it brings to me remembrance to start afresh. Each day to start afresh. I also want to talk about Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1, which says, remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Now, I'm still a youth, by the way. So the Bible is saying I should remember my God in the days of my youth. Before the days of trouble come and the years approach, when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. This speaks of regret. If you don't remember the Creator, the one who has created us, in the days of your youth, guess what happens? Like I said, you make a lot of mistakes. Some of the mistakes are very difficult to correct. Some of them, that's where you say, the wages of sin is death. Some of them, mistakes, you don't even want to be associated with them. So many people have taken their lives because of mistakes they have made. Not now, but, you know, when they were young. That's one thing I don't like about social media, because social media doesn't forget. And I am worried about some of the things that are posted on social media. To say, 10 years later, when you were a youth, when you were young, will you stand with what you have done? But if you remember your Creator, in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come, you have got no problems. Instead of you saying, kare kwaiwa nane, I did not enjoy my youth, I see no good on being this earth, you actually find that you are enjoying, you are bringing into remembrance the wonderful days of your youth. If you remember the Creator in the days of your youth, you will find that, as our theme, you will be building strong. remembering the Creator in the days of your youth, know that certainly your foundations are strong. You can be tested. You can be tested. There is no fire that will destroy you if you are remembering your Creator in the days of your youth. If you are remembering the Creator in the days of your youth, it means you are also praying for a pure heart. You are praying for a clean heart. This nation, this world is short of people with a clean heart. Is short of Christians with a pure heart. As Christians, sometimes we forget about the cleanliness of our hearts. If you remember the Creator in your youthful days, you can leave a legacy. A legacy. Most of us are going without leaving any legacy. We are just forgotten, just like that. Because during the days of our youth, we have built nothing. So it's easy for us to just disappear like that. And as long as we remember that God is the Creator, the MC and Itai during prayer, you have touched on this. You will appreciate that God is the source. Because He has created you. You are remembering God as your Creator. Therefore, you are going to remember God as the source of everything that we have. As the giver. You will not focus on the gifts. You will focus on the giver. You will focus on the Creator. So, if you remember God in your youthful days, you are so sure that you will also remember Him as the source and as the giver. Numbers 15:39 says, you will have these tassels to look at, and you will remember all the commands of the Lord, that you may obey them and not prostitute yourselves by chasing after the lusts of your own hearts and eyes. So, God told me to remember the commandments, the commands that He has given us. One of the things that we have got issues with is getting a commands. Commands are never nice. Not at all. Especially when they are said, these are the commandments. But in following the commandments, in following the commands, there is yielding, there is obedience. And it said, obedience is better than sacrifice. But in obedience, there are benefits. In obedience, we know that we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. And if we are doing what we are supposed to be doing, we will live a fruitful life. Because we are obeying God's commands. As long as we are following the commands, we are not compromising. One of the problems that we have as Christians, we dilute some of the things. So it's just a sin of omission. It's really not a sin as such. But God understands. If you go to the courts, you will find that there are so many excuses why people steal. Thou shalt not steal. But they will come and say, I had no food. I had no school fees. I had to steal. Now, even to the extent that when Nyenge is a lawyer, that has never been seen as an excuse that you have stolen because you had nothing. And God sees the same. If men can see it that way, God also sees it the same, that there is no excuse. You have committed a sin. You have committed a sin. So, God told me that I should remember the commands, his commands. And I should not compromise. Because his expectation is that there is no excuse. It's a yes or a no. And I have seen that as we are discussing with even particularly in this nation, we have tended to say, we have to understand. We have to understand that things are tough and people also have to be taking some of these decisions. Luke 24:6 verse 7 says, he is not here, he has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee. I like this one. You know the power of resurrection. I said, it's a mystery. And God works in mysterious ways. And it says, he is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you. Right? How? Not what. If you focus here, it's not you have to remember how he told you, not what he told you. The how captures the what. There are times when we are just focusing on what did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? But the message got lost because how you told me. The message did not sink because of how you told. You are a father. You are angry. You are busy. So I'm telling you. The child obediently, head down, you walk away, you think you have communicated. But when the message, he was talking to them about his resurrection, the way it was done, it's the how that mattered. He was with them, walking with them, eating with them, going through with, it's the how. So I was saying to myself, the how is very important. I have to remember that the how is more important because in the how it captures the what. So, having grown wiser now, I think I know how to focus on the how, particularly when it comes to things which are dealing with the heart and the souls that God has given us. I'll go to Deuteronomy 5:15. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore, the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath day. Another command comes again. But it starts by saying, remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out there with a mighty hand. I don't know if you understand slavery. Loss of freedom. your rights, you don't have anything. I know some people would say, there are times when they feel that in Zimbabwe they are in slavery. But I'll say to you, we are not there. Because you have got a God whom we worship and who can rescue us from all the situations. The devil could make us forget about the power of God. In fact, what politicians will do if they want to threaten us, they will talk about colonialism. And now they will tell you that don't ever compare what you are going through to the days of colonialism, because they know the mind doesn't like slavery. The God whom we serve gave us his only begotten Son, so that we are free. Do you know freedom? Freedom, to have freedom. Because we have got someone who has got the power. It says, I brought you out of Egypt with a mighty hand. I want you to picture the same. Whatever situation that you are facing, any situation that you are facing, I know you will feel like you are enslaved. But God says, remember the same way he brought those Israelites out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. It is the same that he can also rescue you. But there is something that you have to do. Observe the Sabbath. Observe the commandments. Remember who he is. Remember him as the source. Remember him as the creator. Don't forget that you have got a creator who loves you. One of the things also Matindike has touched on is, let's go to 2 Corinthians 9:6. It says, remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. So God was also reminding me about giving, about the kingdom. You know, when you are getting to 50, because these days things are moving fast, very fast. So the money is finishing very fast, the savings are finishing very fast. In the old days when we were growing up, seeing our parents, they had all these savings schemes which were worthwhile. A little book called fixed deposit could be red in color. Meant a lot to them. It was their savings. And they were assured that these savings will look after them. Now, come to us. Our savings are disappearing fast, and sometimes you can't even save. Now, how do you give? How do you have a mentality of giving when you can't even save? And now, in my case, you'll be looking and saying, okay, so 50. And these days we are told that we have to be very careful because our children are not going to be looking after us. Are you there, our children? Every parent here. That's the new message, the new buzz that we get to say, guys, you have to be wise now because we won't be there for you. You will be on your own. We looked after our parents. He is looking after his parents. We have done our bit. Now, this generation, God, you have given us, says we have to face it on our own. So, how do we give bountifully if we are going to be looking after our own? But it calls for us to know that when we are giving, we are sowing. So we have to remember that we have to give generously so that we will be also reap generously. I have witnessed in my family people who did good, and part of them now, when they were young and they were still active, where they now walk into a hospital and the doctor says, "Oh, I recognize you. You did this for so and so. I'm treating you for free. Oh, you did this and this and this. You were with us. You can get a car. You did this and this and this. You can get this one. Okay, even if it's, you have come with so and so, you can get this favor." And it's because of what they gave, their time, their talent, and their treasure. Back then, when they were active, now in their old days, some of these things are just coming their way because they took their time to give what they had. It's not just the finances. It also has got to do with your time. I have been over the last 6 or so, I've got a relative who is in the prisons, remand. So I go there almost every other day. Each time I go there, I say, "God bless Andy D for the time she has invested in that ministry." It's not a nice place at all. Not at all. And when you go there, and I was there, my first time to be there was around 2002. But when we were going there, we're representing a bank, we are donating. So the impression that you get is totally different. So I've been going there in the official capacity where they are giving you a very, very good picture. But when I started remembering Auntie D saying, "Let's donate wool," you get there in this cold weather. Someone doesn't have a jersey. They don't have food. And you are saying, they don't have soap to wash their clothes. So diseases, outbreak. There's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. All these 75 people in a small room with one toilet, which doesn't flush. You've got 75 people who are there. So when Andy D was talking, because when I was going there, donating, it's a different picture. You go there, you see for yourself. That's when now I say, "Lord, never, please don't forget Andy D. When she was coming here and we were doing, I hope that ministry doesn't die. It's more than needed. It's more than needed." Someone in there, 3 years now, the lawyer who was representing him has just dumped them after taking $1,800 and he has disappeared. Now, the problems of the youth, because he has 3 wives, the wives are now saying, "Yeah, you deserve it." So he's stuck there. So through that talking now, one of my young brothers, he has said, he has really been touched by the story. He has started helping him. But the stories there are endless. I said, I hope all Zimbabweans have got compassion towards these people. 3 days ago, because of the cold and all this, one inmate who was in the prison hospital died. Because he's cold, they are not touched. Avachavunduka. Kuti munhu anorwara ari kukosora. They don't. And again, they will tell you that there are no medicines. So what do you want us to do? Anyway, but I believe that if we continue giving in this ministry, surely God will remember us. Jesus, the simple things we used to get all our other unused items and donate there, I would encourage us to keep doing that. Psalm 77 verse 11 to 12 says, I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. I will consider all your works and meditate on all your mighty deeds. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. So, initially, when I was preparing this message, I started counting my blessings, saying, okay, that was my initial interpretation of the verse. But then, as I continued meditating on this, I actually said, but it goes on to say, I will remember your miracles of long ago. Meaning from time of creation. I have to appreciate the miracles from time of creation. And I said, now, can I even enumerate them? The miracles of God. I said, if I were to go on the internet and just call for miracles, they happen every. That's why I started off with testimonies, because I was going to go to this verse to say the deeds of the Lord, the miracles of long ago. And he said, greater things shall we do. Those miracles of long ago, this creation, we should do greater and mighty things. We have been empowered to do greater and mighty things. I have been asked to be put into remembrance that I can do mighty works. It's verse 12 says, I will consider all your works and meditate on all your mighty deeds. You know, if you look at the words there, mighty deeds, all your mighty deeds. As I felt sometimes old, I told myself that I will renew my strength in the Lord. And I will rejoice in the Lord. Because that's who He is. The deeds of the Lord. You know, when we talk of salvation, I don't know what it means to you, what it means to the next person, how you feel you should be when it comes to issues of salvation, how you feel about the neighbor that doesn't know Christ. And if you can go there and witness, that's a deed, a mighty deed. That's the power of God. You know, when you look at Paul, when he was Saul, and you see the books that he then wrote, and you are saying, God touched him. And if we go out into the world, to the four corners of this world, how many Pauls can we produce? Do we even desire to produce the Pauls? Or we still enjoy having them as souls so that we can condemn them? The Lord says, let's remember His power. Let's not give up on anything or on anyone. but to know that He is still the same God. He is there for us, and He will make sure that the desires of our hearts are fulfilled. Our problem is that when we say He will fulfill the desires of our hearts, we think too much on material things. May I, saints, call upon you to have this desire to win souls, to have this desire to have our families saved, to have this desire to see our nation saved. We don't have to give up, because there shall come a time when your testimony will be that you remember the deeds of the Lord, and you will remember the miracles that He has done in your life. I will end by saying, let's all consider the works of the Lord and meditate on His mighty deeds. Be blessed. Amen.